So the Trump administration just announced they're going to start attacking Venezuela by land under the charade of a drug problem being a major drug source. This is exactly the charade we pulled off when we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq under false pretenses and left it completely unstable when there were actually other resources that we wanted. I cannot stress that this is exactly what's going on right now with your tax dollars and my tax dollars at a time when our economy is tanking. If this were about drugs, if this really were about the drug problem, we'd be attacking these countries first. Mexico dominates the smuggling of most illicit drugs across the southwest border. They are the primary source for fentanyl, meth, heroin, and a significant amount of cocaine to the U.S. Colombia remains the world's primary producer of cocaine, with sources indicating that 98% of the cocaine seized in the United States originates there. This cocaine is typically shipped through the Pacific or Caribbean and then moved through Central America and Mexico. Peru and Bolivia. These are the other two major source countries for coca production in the Andean regions used to make cocaine, though most of their products are consolidated through Colombia for the U.S. market. Central American nations, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and Belize. These countries serve as critical transit points for cocaine moving north from South America to Mexico. The Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. These Caribbean nations are major transit hubs for drugs, primarily cocaine, moving via the Caribbean corridor. China. While not a source for plant-based drugs, China is a major global source of precursor chemicals used by Mexican cartels to manufacture synthetic drugs like fentanyl and meth. And then Ecuador. Ecuador's coastlines are increasingly used as key departure points for drugs, especially cocaine, alongside Colombia. Venezuela. We finally reached fucking Venezuela on the list. It's primarily considered a significant transit country for cocaine originating in Colombia. However, U.S. government data indicates the majority of U.S.-bound cocaine, around 80%, moves via the Pacific corridor, largely bypassing Venezuela, making countries along that primary route, Colombia, Ecuador, Central America, Mexico, more significant in overall volume to the U.S. market. Let me tell you something else about Venezuela. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the world, 300 billion barrels, even larger than the reserves in Saudi Arabia. The biggest donors to Donald Trump's presidency was big oil and all the LLCs and subsidiaries and so forth. Look it up. The ones that donated over $1 million have direct ties to the oil industry. Saudi Arabia cozying up with Donald Trump to get access to this oil in Venezuela by using your tax dollars and my tax dollars, and then pissing on us and telling us it's raining. In other words, it has to do with this drug problem they made up, is ludicrous. This is crazy. And we have madmen at the steering wheel, bypassing Congress and every other international law, and just going around killing anybody, and now we're going to invade their country. That's it.